We often don't see our money problems as a spiritual problem, but indeed it is, because everything starts with spiritual. In fact, quantum physics shows that everything is consciousness, everything is light. And so that is the building blocks of the material world. And so if we want to build a life of wealth, we need to start with building using the raw material of life. And that is spiritual. So let's start there. Because everything we see started with a thought. And a thought is something you can't see. You can't see your thoughts, right? Well, that's in the spiritual realm. So I want to introduce and talk through this concept a little further in another video. But for the purposes of this video, let's move forward with really unraveling different ways that we can approach our money and wealth problems in a spiritual way. You see, spiritual problems require spiritual responses. And that's why in this video, I want to share with you the 5 spiritual strategies for a divinely wealthy mindset. You're going to learn the different tips and techniques that you can use to improve the quality of your life. My name is Yvonne, and welcome to my channel. If you want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button. So let's get right into it. The first step to having a divinely wealthy mindset that I want to share with you is something called affirmations. According to cognitive neuroscientists, 95% of our daily decisions, actions, emotions, thoughts, and behaviors are subconscious. And only 5% of our activity comes from a consciously aware place. So really think about that. Most of our lives are living in the subconscious realm. So how did our subconscious programming get there? Well, through repetition. Think of a child. How often did they have to hear their name? How often did they have to hear the language? Right? How often did they have to hear us as parents inculcate certain behaviors for them to understand, their name, how to behave, right? How to speak our language. And see, even my children, Luca and Gianna, I've got twins, they're 2 years old now. I remember we had to continue to repeat their name when they were babies. And slowly but surely, they started realizing, hey, wait a second, maybe that's my name. And then you would see them in their development, they would turn when you would say their name. But we had to repeat their name over and over and over again so that they can really understand, oh, that's my name. When I hear that word, that's for me, right? That belongs to me. So even how we speak, we're raising them in a bilingual environment, right? They're speaking English and Spanish. And so they're learning to speak 2 languages. Why? Well, because that is what we are repeating to them, okay? The language. And so now they're able to speak and count in 2 languages, something that other children don't have because they're not exposed to it. So whatever we're exposed to repeatedly, this is how our subconscious is programmed. So through consistent and constant repetition. So if we know that that's how we're programmed as a child, then the same thing is for us as adults. The difference is, as adults, we're not as aware, and we don't really expose ourselves to new things as much as maybe a child is. So we want to be purposeful with programming our subconscious mind. And when we were children, we were not in control over how we were programmed. Maybe there are some limiting beliefs in there that we need to tend to, like a garden, weed out a few things, tend a few things. So that's the garden of your mind. So if 95% of our daily decisions, actions, emotions, thoughts, and behaviors are subconscious, then we need to focus on reprogramming our subconscious mind. So if our daily decisions, actions, emotions, thoughts, and behaviors are not supporting us to get to where we want to be, then the question is, how do we reprogram our subconscious? Well, like I said, the only way is through constant and consistent repetition, okay? And one tool is affirmations. Affirmations, repeating these affirmations. You are affirming through affirmations. You're affirming new decisions, new actions, new emotions, new thoughts, and new behaviors into your life. You see, affirmations are a powerful technique to reprogram your subconscious mind. So your actions and behaviors become automatic, right? They become automatically aligned with what you want, okay? Because, a lot of times we've picked up things along our journey that don't serve us. In fact, the word affirmation comes from the Latin, originally meaning to make steady or to strengthen. And that's what we want to do. We want to make our mind steady. We want to strengthen our mind for what it is we want it to create. Remember, we're working with the raw material, and this raw material is in our subconscious mind. So that's why I wanted to start this video with affirmations being the first tool and technique to help us really set ourselves up for a divinely wealthy mindset and lifestyle. So for a more powerful activation, you want to say it in the present tense. For example, I am so happy and grateful now that, I don't know, maybe you want to say that your net worth is $1 million. Well, I'm so happy and grateful now that my net worth is $1 million. And you really want to repeat it consistently. I personally do my affirmations in the morning and also in the evening, right before I go to bed. Why is that? Well, the reason why people choose to say their affirmations in the morning or in the evening is because that is when the subconscious mind can be really tapped into. That's where our brain waves are in a state where it's really, the veil is thinner between the conscious and the subconscious mind, okay? We're in that brainwave state that's perfect for reprogramming. That's in a theta brainwave state, okay? When you are sleeping, you're in the delta brainwave state. And then as you're waking up, you're in theta. Well, here's the thing. Why are children like sponges when they're learning something? And they can pick up several languages. They can learn, like I said, their names quickly, and they're learning so much. Well, they're able to absorb like sponges because through to the age of about 7, children are in this theta brainwave state. They're in the sponge subconscious state. So they are taking in so much information and learning. And so as adults, we lose that, all right? We lose that. But we can hack our subconscious mind with little tips and tricks. For example, saying affirmations and reprogramming our subconscious mind when we are in that state that can help us get there faster, right? So that's why I personally say my affirmations in the morning or evening. And at the end of the day, consistency is key. It's kind of like, when a lot of people say, oh, well, I've tried affirmations, it doesn't work for me. Well, that's the same way. And then you ask them, well, how often, how long have you done affirmations? Well, I did it consistently for like 2 weeks and da-da-da-da. Okay, well, let's say, and I'm currently in my weight loss journey, or I like to say my health and fitness journey. And when I had the kids, well, before I was pregnant, and then, post the pregnancy, There's about 50 pounds that I've been working on, getting a trainer and watching my diet and all this and working out. But yeah, I'll tell you, if I told you that, I'm trying to lose weight and it doesn't work, and you ask me, well, Yvonne, how long have you been in this journey? Oh, 2 weeks, and I gave up because it doesn't work. I haven't lost these 50 pounds. It's not working for me. Well, you'd say, well, you haven't given it enough time, right? So the same thing too is like diet, like exercise. This is you want to be healthy and fit for a lifetime, then you exercise and watch your diet and eat healthy, right? Drink the water for your lifetime, because it's a muscle. You get stronger, and I see that as I exercise, I'm getting stronger. I can lift more. But if I stop doing that, then what's going to happen? Right? It's not going to be as strong. So this is something you've got to really make this as part of your lifestyle. And when do you stop saying affirmations? Well, after you've manifested it. Okay? And so, we live in this matrix, and there's a lot of power in this matrix. So you have to be, I like how Billy Carson says this. So you've got to meet power with power. Nikola Tesla once said that if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so our word, right, in the beginning was the word, and the word created things. And so we want to use our words to create a new life for ourselves. And so we want to understand that our voice, our sound, has a frequency, has a vibration. And this is the energy, coupled with the energy of our emotions. This is very powerful, and it can really ripple the fabric of this world we live in. Okay, again, you're working with the raw material, which is spiritual in nature. So you're able to create this ripple effect in the spiritual, and to cause these things to occur for you. And so there's a lot more metaphysical to affirmations that I won't get too deep into in this video, but just know and understand that your word is powerful, and that words cause the sound, the frequency, and the vibration needed. And if you say that with emotion, right, it's really going to affect the fabric of the raw material that we're working with, and it's really going to help you. So the second way that we can really cause a divinely wealthy mindset is with something called inner work. Inner work. So we all experience low vibration emotions. So maybe shame, guilt, fear, anxiety, or maybe we experience self-sabotage in certain areas of our life, or we struggle to have healthy relationships with others in different ways. Well, this can be healed with inner work. And I will say this, all of us, no one is excluded from feeling these things like shame, guilt, anxiety, fear. We all do, because there's a lot of stuff we carry on that we have to consistently let go. Life is a series of letting go and relearning, right? And so inner work, just like I said about affirmations, is a lifestyle choice. Once you incorporate this tool, you don't do it once or twice and then, or 2 weeks for 2 weeks and say, oh, it doesn't work, and then put it on the shelf and you move on to the next, latest craze, right? It's like a fad. No, this is something like a lifestyle, like a health and wellness lifestyle, where you introduce inner work and you continue to do that. Why? In life, people are walking around in pain, and hurt people hurt people. So as you go about your life, there's going to be things that are going to trigger you, that are going to hurt you. And in those occasions, you're going to want to have a system and a habit set up that you're continuing. Just let's say like brushing your teeth, right? So some people say, oh, I've done my inner work, I'm good. I've done my inner work, right? They feel like they're done with, well, no. Do you brush your teeth once right? Or you've brushed your teeth since you were a little kid. Oh, well, now I'm in my 20s. I'm good. I've brushed my teeth enough. No, you still brush your teeth 2-3 times a day, right? Or, oh, I've taken a bath so many times. You know what? I'm good, right? I'm done with my inner work. No, you take a bath every day, right? Several times even. Why? Because you want to wash off, you want to clean off as you brush your teeth, you want to wash off as you bathe. All of the things that you've picked up in the environment, okay? That's why I'm a huge proponent of, inner work is a lifestyle that you take on and you incorporate as part of your routine, just like taking a bath, just like brushing the teeth, okay? Just like incorporating healthy habits like exercise and healthy, fit lifestyle. Inner work is a part of that. So let's talk about the different components of inner work. So when we hear the word inner work, what does that include? Well, inner work is like an umbrella term that covers a lot of things. For me, they fall into 3 categories. Inner child work. Now, inner child work recognizes that our behaviors as an adult stem from our childhood experiences. And it really focuses on addressing our unmet needs by reparenting ourselves. It's really an approach to healing our childhood trauma. And as I've done the inner child work, it's not just the negative, because I know a lot of people, when they hear inner child, they're thinking, oh, you have to clean up all the stuff, the bad stuff. But a lot of good stuff comes out that you've kind of not been aware of. As I've done my inner child work, I realized that there was a lot of activities that I really enjoyed as a child that I repressed. So for example, playing the violin. I remember when I was little, my school had introduced a program for us to learn how to play an instrument. And in my case, I had picked the violin. I was so excited about it, and my soul was just, I just loved going to the violin class and learning and all that. And so because of some budget cuts, the music department was removed. And so we didn't have music, of course, in the public school system. And so what happens, this desire was repressed, and I held back a lot of feelings that I didn't know. But as an adult, as I was doing my inner child work, this came up. And I remember I got very emotional and cried, and I was very, very emotional around playing the violin. And I didn't realize how much that meant to me. And so recently I signed up to learn violin. And my soul feels so happy, so happy that I think I was like age 8 years old. Finally, I finally get to play this beautiful instrument. And I remember when I first got the violin and I touched it and I cried. And that's when I spoke to my inner child. I told her, I said, this is for you. This is a gift for you. Wow, it was so powerful. The other thing too is drawing, art. I loved art. And so that was another part of me that was repressed, because as we get into college and we're workforce and responsibilities as an adult, I didn't have the time to just draw and paint and just, immerse myself in artistic things. And so as I was doing my inner child work, I realized that this is a repressed part of me that wants to come up. I want to learn how to draw. I want to learn how to express myself, with painting and drawing and the creative part of me, I think. And so that came up during my inner child work. So I signed up for an introductory to drawing. So super excited about that too. Let's see, anything else that came up for me for my inner child? Just a lot of things like that. So I don't want you to say, oh, that's negative, that's all trauma. No. There's a lot of good, poetry. That's the thing I remembered. I loved writing poetry when I was little, as a child. And that came up. And so now as an adult and I find so much joy and so much soul deep level fulfillment in these activities that I didn't know would make that a level of depth. It's just really interesting how this inner child work helps us heal. It really, really does. And so I want to encourage you to get into an inner child program, whether it's something simple like getting some inner child prompts or getting a therapist that can support you, anything that'll get you kick-started with maybe understanding and learning what inner child work can do for you. And this is a spiritual level work because like I kept saying the word soul, right? You heard me continue to say soul level, depth, deep. There's something in us that just comes out. It's this childlike way of looking at life that we repress and we let go of and we forget as adults. And this helps us kind of go back and heal and clean and get excited about life again. Use our imaginations, get creative. The stuff we enjoy doing as an innocent, happy, joyful child. And if there's anything that affected your ability to be happy and joyful as a child, helps us go back and clean all those things out so that we can be happy and joyful adults. Giving that to ourselves as we reparent ourselves. The second is shadow work. And the second part of inner work. And now shadow work is about investigating and embracing the parts of ourselves that we often keep hidden. We usually hear this come up as negative self-talk. Often these are rejected parts of ourselves. So for me, as I was doing my shadow work, I actually ended up, the way I did shadow work was not with a therapist, actually. Neither was did my inner child work. I ended up getting a really, really good journal on these very specific shadow work. And as I would go to the beach and just enjoy writing my journal, just really enjoy, grab a cup of coffee. I wasn't pushing it. I think I did like one journal prompt a week, that kind of a thing. But I started, a lot of stuff came up that I wasn't particularly happy of. I started realizing, wow, there's some yucky stuff in there, like jealousy. What made me jealous? What made me angry? The type of stuff that, when we feel angry or we feel a certain kind of way and we repress it and we repress it and we get it in and we repress it and we don't express it, that's going to create a lot of blocks inside of us. And so this shadow work helps us bring it up to the surface. And a lot of times all it takes is bring it up to the surface and being aware of it. And, it helps heal. So the third category in inner work is self-love. And self-love, in this case, means taking care of your own needs and taking actions that support our physical, mental, and spiritual growth. So self-love, one thing that I struggled with was just giving and feeling guilty when I was taking time for myself, especially with having young kids. As a mom, I'm sure if you're a mom and you're listening to this, you can completely understand the guilt that we feel when we have little ones and then we, either get a babysitter or in my case, I was working full time and just very busy and just didn't take the time, or didn't have the time, didn't make the time for myself. Physically, right, like working out wasn't a thing. I didn't have a healthy system or a routine or a habit to take care of myself physically. So that really affected me. And mental health, a routine to help me with my mental health, or even a routine for spiritual growth. And to be clear, when I say spiritual, I don't mean religious. I do not mean religious by any stretch of the imagination. Religious does not mean spiritual. Okay? So those are two very separate words with two very different meanings. Religion is doctrine. Okay? And we're not talking about doctrine here. So spiritual growth means the person you are on the inside. right? Just becoming more of love, more joy, more peace, and letting go of fear, shame, guilt. Okay, in fact, a lot of times religion can just introduce that very thing, shame and guilt and fear. And so in a spiritual journey, you're letting go of the shame, guilt, and fear. And you're entering into love, joy, and peace. Even in the Bible, it says there is no fear in love. There is no fear in love, okay? You can't love something and fear it at the same time. That's an oxymoron, okay? So that's not possible. So we want to fill ourselves up with love. And as we fill ourselves up with love, the fear goes away, okay? And as the fear goes away and we fill ourselves up with love, now we're entering into a high vibration. Unconditional love is the highest vibration. In fact, as the Bible says, God is love, right? So God is a frequency. God is a vibration. It's the vibration and the frequency of love, okay? So as we let go of these things that no longer serve us and we enter into love, now we're in the spiritual plane. Now we're in the plane of creation and creativity. We are made in God's image, right? In God's image, we're created. And so now we can create. Now we can manifest because we are in the frequency and vibration of love. Okay, God is love, right? And so we're made in God's image. So we are love as long as we let go of the things that no longer serve us and keep pulling us down. Fear, shame, guilt, and all these low vibration frequencies. Now let's move forward to the third way that we can have a divinely wealthy mindset, and that's prayer. You see, prayer is the only avenue of communicating to the Most High, to our source energy. And it's the most powerful shortcut to get what you want. You see, the book of wisdom in the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive. It also says, you have not because you ask not. So the part most people don't do is you have to pray with faith. You have to pray with faith. And that means feel as if your prayer has already been answered. That's true faith, right? Faith in scripture in Hebrews 11:1, faith is the assured expectation of things not seen. The assured, it's done. So sure that it's done, right? And so most people ask for things with a mindset and a feeling like they aren't enough, like they're not worthy, with this lack mentality and a complete state of lack, right? They pray from a place of victimhood, of weakness, of begging. Please, 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 I don't have this. And they cry and they're sobbing. They're really getting emotional in a low frequency vibration. And then they wonder why their prayers aren't answered. Well, if you're in a low frequency, then you're not in the state of creation. You're not in the state of love, you know? And so we want to get into the vibration. We want to be a vibrational match with God. So when people are praying from a place of victimhood, weakness, begging, that's not praying with faith. See, faith is a feeling that stems from confidence and power. Praying with faith is praying as if it's already done. So you're happy and excited and confident and grateful. See, it's as good as done. So let's say you're praying for your finances to improve. What I want you to do is I want you to try praying this way. So I know many of you might disagree with what I'm saying because you're used to praying a certain way. That's fine. You can go back to that. But what I'm allowing you to see is a new perspective. Try this. Try praying with faith. Try praying with gratitude. Imagine how you would feel having already achieved your financial goal, right? Let's say you're praying for your finances to improve. So feel from the result as if it's already happened. You know, I like how the author of The God Code, Greg Braden, I like how he explains this. He says, the language that we want to pray in is the language of our heart. You see, When we have a feeling, it creates an electrical wave and magnetic waves, right? So we are electromagnetic beings, right? So emotions and thoughts trigger the electromagnetic waves. So when you create the feeling in your heart as if your prayer is already answered, that creates the electrical and magnetic waves that bring that answer to you. So when you marry your thoughts and emotions into one single potent force, that is when you have the power to speak. So your word, right? As a creator, your word becomes powerful. So the other thing is ask, right? This is an abundant universe. Right? You have not because you ask not. So remember to ask for what it is that you want. Don't be ashamed for asking for an improved finances. I know I say this because I was like that too. You know, as a Christian, I felt ashamed for asking for wealth, for money, until I really recognized that it is scriptural, that money is for security. Money is for safety. That's a scripture right there. There's a purpose for money, okay? It's when we have a distorted view of money, that's when it becomes unhealthy. But the scripture recognizes it as a tool, and there's a lot of scriptures that talk about the importance of investing. So don't feel guilty for asking for what you want in this area, okay? So ask. You know, this is an abundant universe. And like I mentioned before, Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The language of the universe is the universal language of energy, which is emotion, energy in motion, right? Emotion is energy in motion. So you want to use the right energy, frequency, and vibration, which is love, joy, and peace, right? Pray from a high energy, high frequency, and high vibration state. Step into the result of what you want in your imagination and pray from the result. Pray from the feelings, thoughts, and emotions of the result you want to achieve. And that, my friend, will really, really allow your prayers to be powerful, okay? You are a creator, right? Jesus even said, you are a God. You are God's. So step into your power and pray from a high frequency state. So let's go to the fourth way that you can really create a divinely wealthy mindset, and that's journal writing. You see, journal writing is a powerful way to hijack the conscious mind and get into that subconscious mind. When you journal write, okay, what I want you to do is focus on what you want to be, do, and have. So one journal, and I wanted to stay there for a little bit, focus on what you want to be, do, and have. So for the purposes of this exercise to become divinely wealthy, we're not journal writing on the negative stuff that happened today and look what so-and-so did, I can't believe it, you know, this and that and the other. You're not journal writing negative stuff that happened throughout your day. No, you're being strategic and purposeful with your journal writing. You're focusing on what you want to be, do, and have. What you want to do is you want to remember your future. Okay? Don't remember the past, the memories. Okay? Remember the future. So one journal prompt is, if money was no limitation, what do I want to be, do, and have in my lifetime? What I want you to do is write out 100 things that you want to be, do, and have in your lifetime. And use this as a journal writing activity. And it may take you a few days or maybe a month. So for instance, and I've done this myself, if you want to write 10 things each day that you want to be, do, and have. Just have that as an exercise. For 10 days, write 10 things each day. And then now you're going to have a list of 100 things, right? So chunk it down. So it may take you, like I said, maybe a little bit over a week, but it's worth it. Try it. Here you want to engage your imagination. Use your imagination and imagine anything and everything that might be possible for you in your lifetime. So don't restrict yourself. Like, let's say you want a Maserati, right? Oh, that's not possible for me. Da 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 da. I don't see how. How is not your business. It's not your business. Here, for the purpose of this exercise, if money was not a limitation, just write down what you want to be, do, and have. Maybe you want to go, I don't know, to Italy, to France, to Paris, and you don't see how you can possibly do it. Doesn't matter. Write it down. Any experience you want to experience, right? You want to learn something fun and new. You want to learn how to draw and paint and all that. Just write that down, okay? You are just having fun with this. Don't get too serious. Just have fun with this exercise, okay? So what do you want to experience and achieve in your lifetime, right? In a lifetime. Don't limit yourself to the next 3 years, right? So write it down and notice that I didn't say use your journal, again, to write the bad things that happened to you or stuff you're upset and mad at. In this case, you are using your journal writing as a tool for a divinely wealthy mindset. And I'm saying that a second time to reaffirm to you that you get what you focus on. We want to start teaching our subconscious mind to focus on what we want, to begin to remember our future. Now, the fifth way that we can really create a divinely wealthy mindset is with visualization. Yes, visualization is a powerful technique. In fact, Albert Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge. Can you believe that? A genius said that imagination is more important than knowledge. He also said that imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attractions. He knew the spiritual principle of using our mind. And so there are many different tools that people use to support their imagination. Some use vision boards, mind movies, or simply closing your eyes for 5 minutes daily to visualize. So visualize yourself having what you want. So I personally like to use music as background to really help me get into a nice, relaxed, and comfortable mood as I visualize. So what I want you to do is, as an exercise, take that list after you've written the 100 things that you want to be, do, and have. Take a good look at your list of 100 things and pick one, just one of the 100 things, and do this visualization exercise with it. So for example, let's say you want to travel to Egypt and you want to go on a nice cruise down the Nile. Well, you want to imagine it in detail. Imagine what you would be wearing. Imagine who you would be with. Use your 5 senses. What would you see? What would you taste? You know, the kinds of foods you'd eat. What would you hear? What would you feel, right? So all of these really bring in your senses. Imagine it in detail. And really allow yourself to get excited. Introduce your feelings, emotions, right? High frequency. So get involved and get comfortable with visualization, because imagination and visualizations are key spiritual tools that help us with manifestation, and it's not something that we've been taught to do. So we want to continue to practice this, and we will get better. I know a lot of people say, well, I struggle with visualization. Just like anything else. When you exercise, at first, you could barely lift anything, right? Maybe you get a 5-pound dumbbell or 3-pound dumbbell. But then slowly you get stronger. Then you can use an 8-pound dumbbell, a 10-pound dumbbell, 15. I'm at 15 pounds now, 20 pounds. So that's the type of way I want you to see visualization. You haven't used this muscle throughout your lifetime. So it's not going to be easy at first, and have grace with yourself as you get stronger using your visualization muscle. You'll be surprised at how your mind begins to create these things. So for example, I've always wanted to draw. I mentioned that before, right? And then I wrote it down in my journal. Well, recently, I've done this list, like I mentioned. I actually write this list of 100 things every year. And I started visualizing, and I started seeing different things show up in my life that brought me towards a class on introduction to drawing class that I'm really excited about starting. So these types of things you're going to notice a lot of things show up into your life now that you've given a focus and direction to your subconscious mind. So just some final thoughts. The gift of wealth and the power to enjoy them is a gift of God. Okay, this is a spiritual principle found in Ecclesiastes 5:19. It says, moreover, when God gives someone wealth and possessions and the ability to enjoy them, to accept their lot and be happy with their toil, this is a gift of God. So truly, life is a gift, okay? You didn't create yourself. None of us created ourselves. This is a beautiful gift. Let's enjoy this gift for the small time we have in this world. It's really just a breath of time that we get to experience our life. So let's experience it in high vibration. Let's choose love. Let's choose joy. Let's choose peace. And really build from the raw material, and that is spiritual, because everything begins with that. So in conclusion, I want to encourage you to check out my Goals Mastery program if you feel you need more clarity in life. This course is really going to help you get clear with what you want in life, and also help you get clear with identifying, defining, and aligning with your vision, mission, and goals in life. Also, it's always great to have inspirational and motivational reminders to keep us moving forward towards our dreams and goals. So click on the link below to choose your favorite custom designed gift for yourself, family, and friends in my online merch store. Click the link in the description box below. And if you've enjoyed this video and want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one. Oceans of love. Until next time.